Hi, friends. Today we're going to learn about being good Googlers. The first video, we'll actually watch this together in class probably on Thursday. Doesn't make sense for you to watch the video of the video, so we'll watch and we'll talk about this on Thursday. As you know, there's lots of different types of search engines that you can use. This is just a few. So Yahoo, Google, Ask.com, Bing, DuckDuckGo. Remember that you use your web browser like Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. You use your browser to then go to a search engine to actually do the search. Okay. So let's talk about finding the right search terms. I want you to think about, what food does Tyson like best? And I know you're probably like, Tyson, who's Tyson? And who cares? I care. Okay. So, what would you type into Google? A lot of times, I see students, and I've done it myself, just type in the entire sentence into their Google search, and just cross your fingers and hope that you get the right answer. Well, that's not always the best way to do it. So, if I just do that, if I copy and paste or type that full sentence in, you'll notice right up here up at the top, you'll see there are 15 million results. I don't know about you, but I never look past page one when I do a Google search, and none of these results answer the question, what food does Tyson like best? So, Google search one, no right answer. So, we need to think about which words we would choose to use in an effective Google search. Well, we need food because that's what we're looking at. Tyson, again, we don't really know who's Tyson. Is it Mike Tyson? Is it some guy named Tyson? Is it Tyson, the food brand? And then we want to know like best, right? So, what food does Tyson like best? Well, we can also think about like best is also referred to as someone's favorite, right? So now we've taken two words, like best, and sandwiched it down into one word. Well, I can give you another hint. So we're looking for the Percy Jackson character, Tyson, and what food is his favorite. Okay. So let's be a little bit more specific when we're doing our Google search, and we'll not include words or punctuation that aren't necessary. So we don't include what, we don't include does, and we don't include like best, and we're not going to include the question mark. You'll notice we still get quite a few results. We get 6 million results, but first result, boom, we don't even have to click on the page. And it tells us that peanut butter is Tyson from Percy Jackson's favorite food. Okay. So that search result number two, boom, gets the result within that first, um, you know, the first top five, in fact, the top one. So when we compare these, would you rather sift through 15 million or would you rather sift through 6 million? Well, again, most of us don't even look past page two. So it's not even necessarily about the number of results, but it's about finding the correct information as quick as possible. Okay. And you can see by switching up, instead of using the entire sentence, switching up, picking out those most important words, and then fine tuning, favorite, we get the results, boom, right away. So, what you need to think about and what you need to do in order to be a good Googler is that you need to make sure that you remember these four or five things. Okay. So, number one, every word matters when you're doing a search. Okay. Every word matters. Also, the order matters. You can see in this sample here, blue sky is going to give you different results than sky blue. Okay. So every word matters, order matters, but number three, capitalization does not matter, right? So Barack Obama and Barack Obama would give you the exact same result. So you don't have to worry about capitalizing. Most of the time, as well, punctuation doesn't matter. So you can see the crazy search in this example with Red Delicious with the percent sign apple. with a question mark gives you the exact same results. But you'll notice at the bottom, um, with the little asterisk or the little star, that there are a few exceptions. So there are programming languages that have punctuation in them, like C++ and C sharp. Okay, so some punctuation matters, but for the most part, especially that ending punctuation of a period or a question mark or an exclamation point, those do not matter when you're doing a Google search. Also, what you can do when you're using Google is you can use the different options that you have up at the top. So in this example, you can see that the person is searching for Stonehenge, and you can click on web and it will give you all kinds of websites that have the word Stonehenge. You can click on images, you can click on maps, you can click on shopping. Let's go to Google and let's see this in action. Okay, so if I go to Google and if I type in daisy, because that's my favorite flower, so you can see Google's changed it just a bit from that picture, but if I want specific pictures, I can click on images or videos or shopping or news, or you can even click on more and see the word Daisy on maps, anywhere in Google Books. Flights and finances probably wouldn't have much to do with Daisy, but you'll notice along the top, every time you do a Google search, if there's something specific that you're looking for, you can always click on these and they'll give you different results. Okay. All right. Another thing that I wanted to show you is how to do an advanced Google search. So you can find things based on reading level. You can find things based on video source, on video length, and image copyrights as well. And so let me show you that. Okay, so if I click on Tools on the right-hand side, so here I am in Google Images, so I can find and bring down this advanced search. So maybe my favorite color is purple, and I like daisies, and so now I didn't change anything up here, but I changed in the advanced section here, and I chose a specific color. Maybe you're working on a website, or maybe you're doing something specific and you need a particular size of an image. And so, again, under tools, you can choose different types of image, or excuse me, different sizes, different colors, different types, time. Maybe you're a big Cubs fan and you're looking for an image of the Cubs when they won the World Series. Well, that was not within the last 24 hours. So you might want to choose a specific time if you're looking for an image that's very time sensitive. Okay. Usage rights. So let's talk about usage rights. Most people don't realize that images on Google are copyrighted. And so it is illegal to copy and paste images and use them for commercial reasons. Now, the word commercial means that you're going to use it to make money. So most of the time here in education, we tend to kind of copy and paste images off of Google because we're not using it to make money. But I will tell you that if you aren't careful, you absolutely could find yourself in hot water if you are using someone's images without their permission. The Creative Commons license is a set of images that are free for you to use. And you'll notice that it's very restricted. So there were no icons of purple daisies. Now, if I change it out of icon because that was oddly specific, there are some of these. And so Pixabay and Flickr um, are really great sites. Photographers have taken images and they've put them on these sites knowing that people are going to beg, borrow, and steal them. And they're okay with that. They've given their permission. Okay. So we in education and a lot of times for school projects, we don't really focus our attention on the Creative Commons license, but we really should do that a whole lot more. Okay, because we want to make sure that photographers get the recognition that they deserve. Okay, so most of the time we'll leave it on all So if I go back to all, and if I click on tools, so if I click on news, and if I click on tools, computer's going a little slow today. I can click on tools is where you will find if you are looking for some sort of information, news information, and you want the latest information. If I type in COVID-19 here, this article was posted 7 minutes ago. This one was 10 hours ago. And then you can kind of scroll down and see if you really want information that's very, very timely, that's happening right now, you would come under here and you would go to the last hour and see if anything was posted within the last hour. A lot of times, if there's something big going on in the world, like a tornado or a hurricane, a lot of times people will come in and do a news search, and they'll change, again, you click on tools, you can see within the past hour, and that way you know what you're seeing is the absolute latest, than what's going on. Okay, so again, that's the tools. And so let's look at some other kind of things that you can do to be better Googlers. So the first one is that you can put phrases within quotes. So if you maybe hear something on the news or the radio and you're like, oh, I think I heard about something and it was called Day at the Zoo. Well, if you type in day at the zoo in quotations, like in this first line, you'll notice it gets you back 2 billion results, which again is a lot of results, but it's only going to bring back that entire phrase, day at the zoo, versus not including the quotations, day at the zoo. And remember, Google's going to search day and at and the and zoo, but it's not looking for the phrase together because there's no quotes. Okay. Another thing that you can do is you can do some helpful things when it comes to searching specific websites. So, if you are looking for information about jazz, which is a type of music, and you include in the search bar site.pbs, let's do this. Oh, it's not going to let me copy and paste. So, let me switch over. So, jazz site colon pbs.org. Oops, I'm in news. So if I go back to all, you'll notice that every single result is on the PBS website. Okay. And PBS stands for Public Broadcasting Service. And that's a nonprofit. And so the information that you're going to find about jazz is really, really helpful. Okay. You're not going to find an article with someone's opinion about jazz. You're going to find educational types of information. Okay. So you can type in, again, the word you're looking for, site colon, and then the specific site that you're looking for. I like to do this with the Journal Star website because their website search engine's kind of bad. And so I like to use Google to search the Journal Star. So I'll just leave it jazz. But again, as you notice and look down, all of these articles have the word jazz in them, and they're all on the Peoria Journal Star website, which is our local newspaper, if you were wondering why I picked that. Okay. So you can do a site search in Google. Again, you just put in the site colon, the name of the website, and then what it is you want to search. You can search certain kinds of websites. If you notice and start looking at the domain, which is at the very end of a website list, .org are nonprofit organizations, and so .edu are educational institutions, .com are commercial, those are for profit. So if you look at this one, it has the word jazz, and it has site colon .edu. So let's see what that does. So you'll notice that the first site is from the americanhistory.si.edu. We have umn.edu. All of these are educational institutions. So if you were interested in gathering research or maybe you were interested in finding a college or university that had a program about jazz. This would be a good type of site to do. Okay, so again, you've got the word that you're searching for, and then this is only going to bring up results that are in that specific domain, which, remember, the domain just kind of gives users an idea of what type of information is on the site. Okay, so there's that one. That one is super helpful. If there's ever a time when you remember a phrase or part of a phrase, but you can't remember the whole thing, you can always use the asterisk. That's called a wildcard. You can always use that to kind of fill in the blank. So if you look at this example, so break me off a piece of that. Gosh, what kind of bar? So if you take that into Google, Google will fill in the blank and tell you the result. Okay, so let's do it. Break me off a piece of that. I don't even have to really do it. But you'll notice, first result, the fill in the blank is a Kit Kat bar. Okay, so that wildcard asterisk sometimes comes in handy. And then finally, the last one on the screen is to leave out. So this example has the blue jays, which is a type of bird. But if you just type in Blue Jays, it will give you all sorts of information about the bird. It'll give you information about the Toronto Blue Jays. It'll give you, all kinds of anything that relates to Blue Jays. If you're not interested in getting information about that sports team, the Toronto Blue Jays, you can use the minus or the dash and then Toronto, and then it will not include any kind of results that have that information. So it will only give you bird information when you type in Blue Jays. And really, right, we just learned above, two words technically are a phrase, so we should put Blue Jays in quotes and then minus Toronto, and it will give us all of the results about the birds, not the sports team. Okay. So at this point, you're going to go back to the Google Classroom. You are going to work on the search and research assignment. There's a couple terms that might be weird. If in the directions it tells you to find a JPEG, remember that a JPEG is an image. And remember that there's two parts to your assignment. Part one, where you're going to go find information, and then part two is where you're going to create your own type of little scavenger hunt. So let me show you what that looks like. Where are we at here? So we'll go to Google Classroom. I have to switch to my right Google account. This assignment will be due at the end of class period on Wednesday. So you'll have the rest of the class period today, and then you'll have Wednesday to ask me any questions. You can again find it under our class, under classwork. Right now, you'll notice that it looks a little weird in my classroom because right now it's just a draft, but I want to show you what it's going to look like. So you will get a copy of this assignment. So remember, in the upper right-hand corner, you'll just click on it and it'll include your name on it. And so here's part one. And so LeBron, the first several are about LeBron James. So you're literally going to find out, where did he go to high school? What is the date and year of his birthday? And what year was he named Rookie of the Year? Okay, so those are pretty easy. You'll notice these are the minor leagues. These are fairly easy. And as we scroll down, you'll get some information about Patrick Mahomes, Megan Raponi, Miley Cyrus, and then after Charlie Grace D'Amelia, then you're going to look at part two. Okay, and so let me explain. So you're going to pick your own topic. Okay, anything that you like as long as it's school appropriate. Then you're going to come up with 3 research questions about that topic. Okay, Then you're going to provide me with any of the links or websites where I would go to find information. Okay. So let me just do one as an example. Okay. So topic, let's say Peoria, spelled it, Peoria Riverman. Okay. Now it says three researchable questions. Three questions are how many you need to come up with. Two of them, let's see, you have, so I'll reword this so that this isn't so crazy. So you're going to come up with three questions about your topic. One of them should be fairly complicated that I may have to do two Google searches. Okay. So, and here's what I mean. So, what is the mascot for the Peoria Rivermen? Okay. That one's fairly easy, fairly straightforward. I could Google Peoria Rivermen and mascot, boom. What year did the Rivermen start playing? Type today in Peoria. So again, very straightforward. Google Rivermen, Google, when were they founded or when did they start? Now, my third question is going to be a little bit more complicated because I don't want something that's just an easy one Google search. Okay. Now, I know that the Peoria Rivermen won their cup. I think it's not the Stanley Cup, that's the NHL. I think it's called the Turner Cup. Okay. So a simple one would be what year did the Rivermen win the Turner Cup? But I don't want simple. I want one that's a little bit more complicated. Okay. So I'm going to say who was president of the USA when the Peoria Rivermen first won the Turner Cup, right? So I would have to do two Google searches. I would first have to figure out what year the Rivermen won, and then I would have to find out who was president when the team won. Okay. So three questions. One of the questions needs to be more complicated and not just a simple search. Okay. So what resources? Well, the Rivermen have their own website. Okay. So it's rivermen.net. Where else could I go? Well, let's go to Peoria Rivermen. So here's rivermen.net. Here, I bet on this website I could find information on when they won the cup. Right, so I'm going to copy that and paste. Okay, and then this one says note facts. Basically, I want you to answer the questions. Okay, so number one, um, the mascot is Rocky. Number two, I would have to look up, and then three. Okay, so the way this works is you're gonna pick your own topic, some scavenger hunt style questions. One needs to be one of those complicated, two kind of Google searches to find the answer. Give me some links where I can find the answers, and then go ahead and answer the questions for me. Okay. Again, you have all class period today, and you'll have the rest of the class period on Wednesday to finish up when we're remote, and you can ask me any questions.